Well, as someone who's been studying innovation for 30 years, I can't really say that I understand innovation. I understand it better than I did 30 years ago, and I think we probably all do a little better than we did before. One of the things that's encouraging about this conference is at least there's a lot of people here who understand the fact that innovation is something that is not a value to be pursued without limit and blindly and without a good strategy.
We know lots of little bits, but we forget the big picture. And again, the big picture, I think, is that it's extremely collective, it's very uncertain, and it's cumulative. And if you really think of those three characteristics seriously, you would actually be designing many different policies that we have today in a completely different way.
Clearly not. No, we don't. As somebody involved in science policy, I always try to get governments to invest in research on the basis of innovation. Yet there's no clear correlation between the two. There's no demonstrable evidence that I can adduce that says this is really the case.
Of course you can comment that as a human being or as a society you don't understand everything. But I think that we as human beings in the society has an optimistic view about innovation.
There are lots of things that we don't really understand, but we get along very well without really understanding. I think that we can improve our understanding, and we are moving towards improving our understanding, but there is very little that we really understand. So it's not a problem that we don't really understand innovation.
Innovation is much more of a science like life sciences or ecological sciences. Very difficult to understand, extremely complex, with a lot of uncertainty. So the evidence we gather on the basis of estimates, of surveys, of indicators, is always evidence which can be questioned, which can be debated.
We need to study innovation and we need to develop better measures of the output of the product of different parts of the economy in order to, and we need to study the actual process of innovation. How do people change? What makes people change?
We need a broader understanding of innovation. We need a different debate like this, conferences like this, to where we really engage. And I think academics like myself, we have to really engage with policymakers and with society at large, so that we in a way mutually benefit from our insights and perspectives.
The science of innovation is a science which is, of course, not physics. It's complex, it's full of uncertainties, it's very micro, based on individuals, the way firms operate, etc. So in this whole area, the evidence we can gather as a science of innovation is still evidence which is still heavily debated. It's not evidence which is just clear. No, it will be evidence which typically goes in different directions.
If Europe wants more Googles, and if we want the recovery from the financial crisis to be innovation-led, the lesson really is we need more state, not less. But the big question is what kind of state? If we want organizations like DARPA in the US, which basically funded the internet, we need to be willing to fail. DARPA fails in many things it tries to do. The internet was one of the successes.
We have a big debate on science metrics. So we spend now with the Horizon 2020 approximately 80 billion euro into science, research, innovation, and people who spend this money, the taxpayers, they want to see what is the outcome of this. And as chairman of the science committee, the STOA committee in the House, we try to help to create a system which is with a big benefit for everybody.